Stick a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you fling.
Joining me right now is UFC featherweight Mike Grundy. Mike, back on the show, man. Appreciate your time. How you doing?
Going good, yeah. Obviously, we just had Christmas. You know what I mean? I've been training through it. But it's still, you know, it's a good Christmas. I can't eat too much food, can't drink, but you know what? I'm enjoying it.
Definitely. Well, right now at this time, we're doing the interview. It is the day after Christmas morning. You already got a workout in.
Yeah, I've just finished training. I'm just in my gym now. This is my gym in Wigan now, Elite Fitness Factory. I've just finished training now, and yeah, and I was even running yesterday on Christmas Day as well. So I had a run yesterday as well. So just keeping the weight down.
The UK, it seems like they're hitting some barriers, some obstacles right now at this moment, you know, like tier 4. I don't know exactly what that means, but I've been hearing some stuff about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't follow it all myself, to be honest. I don't watch the news and things like that. It's just a bit too negative for me, and I just get on with my life as much as I can, really. But yeah, there's like a tier 4 thing now, and like all the restaurants are closed, and you're not allowed to mix with any other houses apparently. Apart from yesterday, we could mix with families and stuff like that. But like I say, I just get on with my everyday life really and train, and I still see my family. So like I say, you still got to see your family, aren't you? So
yeah, it's funny how they'll let you see your family on Christmas, but then the other days you can't. That doesn't make any sense.
Madness, you know what I mean? Like, what's the difference between yesterday and today? You know what I mean? Can we not catch it yesterday? So COVID's very clever, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's probably the smartest, you know, virus in human history. I don't even know, man. Yeah, like you said, there's a lot of negativity out there. You know, you're in the middle of training camp. You have to keep that negativity out, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you just got to surround yourself with great people, positive people. That's the way I see it.
All right. Now, you broke your jaw in your last fight. When exactly did that happen? Because I didn't even notice it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, a lot of people said that. They didn't really notice it. I mean, obviously I noticed it straight away, you know. But, I mean, it was in the first round, definitely 100% it was in the first round. I just don't know if the break started in the first minute from when I shot a leg attack. I either banged it on his hip or his knee when it on the way in, or it was from the punch. The punch definitely finished it off. He caught me with a decent right hand as I threw a body kick. That definitely finished off. But the problem, I knew I'd broke my jaw, but the problem was my vision. I broke it in 3 places down the side here. So I've had it operated on now straight after the fight. They cut my temple open and they went down and just put everything back to normal. But yeah, it was more the vision really. In the fight, that was what was affecting me. I couldn't see his shots like in time. I was reacting to them late, and my leg attacks were a little too far out, just due to my vision really. You
had a great first round. Even the second and third round, you didn't do too bad, especially with the injury that you sustained in the first. You know, when you look back at the fight, how do you rate your performance?
Yeah, I was hard on myself at first, you know. But like I said, when I went back and I watched it, yeah, considering I had a broke jaw, and my vision was blurred. I thought, you know, I done all right. Obviously, I was gutted I lost, but do you know what I mean? After 5 years of winning and 10 fight winning streak and stuff like that, you know, it's still a hard pill to swallow. So, but you know what I mean? I'm a wrestler and I've got over it. I was back training, you know, even the day after my operation, I was doing something. So, you know, I'm in good spirits now, and I'm just 100% ready to fight and just get this win and get my hand raised on that January 16th. I'm excited for it.
When I was watching that fight live and you had that darts choke and you had I was like, my mind was blown because, you know, Evloev, he is strong on the ground, man. Like, he is one of the best, I think, in the division, and you almost had him, man. He was struggling.
Yeah. Well, when I had it on, I mean, just before you finish the sub, you have this feeling like, oh yeah, the ref's going to take me off in a second. I'm done. I've done it. I've got it. You know what I mean? You had that. I had that feeling like I'd won the fight, and then obviously, you know, he wriggled out of it. It was a slippery little thing, like, you know what I mean? He's a good competitor. He's going to do well in the UFC, I think. But yeah, how he got out of it. He was gargling. You know, even my corner. I was right near my corner. My corner could hear him, you know, choking and gargling. So I cranked it a little bit more. But there was some little tiny mistakes I made on that choke, but I've corrected them already, you know. And like I say, if I do it again, I won't make that mistake again.
I'm seeing that fight happening in the future, man. You guys are both coming up in the division, so it's gonna happen.
it'd be nice to get that fight again. Definitely, you know, I'd love to fight him again. That first round, I'd say I won that first round. I think one judge definitely gave me that round, but the other two maybe didn't. But I'd say I definitely won that first round. The only thing he kind of got me with was a decent shot, one decent shot in that first round. But I'd say I dominated that. Yeah, he won the second and third, but I still managed to take him down and stuff with obviously what went on.
Definitely. Well, you know, the surgery, it's not fun to have any surgery, and the recovery must have not been any fun either. But you said you were training right away, so I guess the pain wasn't there after the surgery?
Yeah, I mean, it was still there, but I wasn't training like grappling or any kind of contact. I was running and doing pads, boxing pads and stuff. So it was a good time to work on that. But yeah, I mean, I've got that mentality. If I've got one leg, I can do something on my other leg. If I've got one arm, I can do something with my other arm. I've got that mentality, and I think it comes from my wrestling background and my upbringing. Really, I'm mentally tough, and I'll be straight back in doing something. I always, you know, like I say, I was running. I got my operation on the Saturday, and I was running on the Monday when my face was out here, like, so. It's just what I do.
With the time that you normally train grappling or striking or the other aspects, what did you do to fill in that gap?
I was always like, I try and keep myself in routine best I can, because I think that's the best way to do it. If I'm just going to sit at home and dwell on the fact that I've lost, or, you know, I cry and moan about that I've got a broken jaw, it's no good for me. It's no good for anyone. So I'll still go into the gym and I'll help the lads and I'll coach, but I'll train aside of them. So when the lads were sparring, I did everything as much as I could with my jaw. But then when the lads started sparring, I'd be in a bag or doing pads with somebody without any contact. So I still trained every single day. Like,
did they wire it shut, or was it just, I don't know. I've only seen the wiring shut. So did they do that?
No, I've got the X-ray on my phone, but I never put it out there. But it's quite a bad break. Basically, at the side of your temple here, the arch of it, that broke inwards. I think maybe that's why it blurred my vision, because the bones went in and it broke in 3 places. But because it's on an arch, it's not like a moving joint, they didn't need to wire it or anything. They just kind of cut my temple up and went inside, and then they put it back to position. But they said, don't do anything, you know, don't do anything stupid with it. Don't go eating a steak, do you know what I mean, the day after. And it should sit there. And then I went back about a few weeks later, and it sat in place and it started healing. But it was 3 months before I could do any kind of contact.
All right, well, you got back in there and you got back to form, it seems like, because they got you a fight coming up. You know what I mean? Nik Lentz, he's a gritty veteran. I believe he has like more fights than you. Like, he has more fights in the UFC than you do total as a professional, man. He's been around for a while.
Yeah, he's been around since before I even thought about doing. He's been in the UFC since before I even thought about doing mixed martial arts. I think he was in since 2009, and I only started my amateur career in 2011. You know, I was still wrestling in the World Championships in 2009 and stuff like that. I didn't even consider fighting then. So yeah, he's a veteran. I think he's a great fight, especially me coming off a loss. You know, and he's a big name. He's a household name in the UFC. He's been in the top 10. I think he might have even been in title contention at some times. Fought some great names. So for me going out there and beating him, I think it's a massive opportunity that UFC have given me, and it does a lot for my name too.
You must have went back and watched some of his fights. You know, he's fought some of the best, like you've mentioned, and you got to refresh. You know, you got a refresher in your mind about like what he can do. What are your thoughts on his style?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a good gritty style, hasn't he? You know, I mean, he's a Division 1 wrestler, but I don't think he uses his wrestling as much as maybe he should, or maybe he doesn't pull it off as good as I think he could. So, you know, always a wrestler, and obviously I'm a wrestler. You know, it's a good fight, because with the wrestlers, 2 wrestlers, we never know what's going to happen. You know, he could defend my takedown, or I can defend his takedown. We could think sod that and try and knock each other out. You know, we don't know, but it's a good fight. You know, he's decent on the ground. He's got a decent guillotine, but I'm prepared for everything, and I've left no stone unturned. I'm fully ready for this fight. It's coming off a loss is just a different Mike Grundy. You know what I mean? Although I've always trained hard, I've always been mentally tough, and I've always been ready for any kind of fight, from amateur to professional. But This is just lit another fire in my belly, and I'm going to be a different animal on the night.
Did you add a sports psychologist into the mix recently?
I've always been in. Yeah, I have. He's Saeed Asmelia, his name is. He's a great sports psychologist, but I've known him since I was a young kid through my wrestling career. I knew his dad and that he was a great wrestler, and I've always talked to him. I didn't even actually know he was a sports psychologist at the time right now, but he spoke to me about it, and in the end I started seeing him. It wasn't something like I feel 100% like needed because I lost a fight. It was nothing to do with that. It was just because something I've always been interested in anyway, and I've always studied it. One, to be a better coach, and you know, my son's also coming through. He's doing mixed martial arts, and he's a great little athlete. So something I never had as a kid was sports psychology and how the brain works and things like that. So I can pass all my knowledge on to my son, but I didn't have that side of things. So I want to make sure he's got that growing up. So that's a reason. But also, yeah, as far as the fight goes, it's definitely going to help me towards the fight as well and preparing mentally for that. I'm in a strong place right now, and I'm mentally the strongest I've ever been.
What did you realize working with him?
He just explains and breaks things down really well. It's stuff that I probably already knew, but he's had me doing like certain things, you know, giving me homework and stuff like that, and watching and listening to a lot of things that's just switched my mind on for training and to help me get mentally prepared for the fight and the day before the fight and the day of the fight and things like that. Really, I'm very interested in it anyway, and even helped me as a coach as well. You know, the things you should be saying to kids that I coach and things like that. So it's you know, he's done really well. He's good.
Team Kaban, you know, it's a great team out there. Has it been a collective effort for your preparations, or did you have to stay with a small group?
No, I mean, we've all been in training. Professionals are still allowed to train over here, though all of the pandemic and the tiers and whatever, but we've still been allowed to train, which is good for us. You know, I mean, the good thing is probably about this is the fact that only I'm fighting on the January the 16th. You know, Tom Aspinall's not fighting and Darren's not fighting. So the coach has been, you know, he's concentrated on me a lot, and I've definitely rewarded from all that, and grateful really of it all. He's put a lot of time and effort into me, and it's made me a better fighter over the time that I've not been, you know, that I've had off the 6 month layoff. I think it is going to be about time I fight, and I've developed and I've got better, and I'm grateful for it.
Has Tom and Darren been playing major roles in this camp for you?
I mean, they're always there. You know, we're a great team. We bond well, and you know, we train well together. I mean, Tom and Darren's a bit heavier than me, so I've stayed away from them, making sure I don't get injured. But yeah, they're always there. You know, we've got a good team bond.
Yeah, I would think, you know, you'd try to get at least some striking rounds with Tom. You know, I mean, Tom is just phenomenal.
Yeah, he's a great boxer, and he's so fast for an heavyweight. Yeah. He's going to be something special. Tom's going to be the champion one day, I expect.
Now, what about Darren? You know, I mean, I know he delayed his return due to injury. It seems like, is he looking good in the gym? Is he ready to get back?
He's training and stuff like that, yeah. But obviously, you know, he was supposed to fight Jack Manson, but he just wasn't ready. His knee wasn't fully ready. You know what I mean? So he couldn't fight at that level. You know, it's just obviously there's not much between these fighters at top five, so it's not worth really taking that kind of fight. So yeah, he didn't do that fight, but he's in training, and I don't know when he'll fight again, but hopefully, you know, early 2021, because everyone's excited to see him. I'm excited to see him. You know, it's always a great atmosphere when Darren's fighting. Hopefully, you know, we can get him in England and when the fans are around.
I hope so too. Now, I know you're always looking for the finish, but do you see it more likely coming on the ground or on the feet?
I mean, obviously Nik Lentz is a tough guy to finish. You know what I mean? He's a gritty, tough fighter, and he's not been finished too many times on his record. But I will definitely be looking for that finish. I need to get out here and I need to make a statement. And you know, finishing somebody like that is definitely making a statement, I'd say. But I think, you know, wherever it comes, you know what I mean, I'm taking it.
You opened a lot of people's eyes on the variety of skill set that you have in the last fight. You know what I mean? You know, the fight before that, you showed a lot, but that last one, I think you showed a lot by taking somebody down and being able to take a wrestler like from Russia and keeping him there.
Yeah, he's a good wrestler, and coming into that fight, a lot of people did say that Mobster is probably one of the best wrestlers in the division. I'd say I definitely edged him with the wrestling. You know, so a few times he tried to push me on the cage. He never got me on the cage. I think his best work is more Greco-Roman style wrestling on the cage. You know, he's quite relentless. But I think I edged him on the wrestling side of things, and you know, I think that puts me up there to be the talk of, especially being a guy from Britain. You know, when a lot of commentators said that they can't wrestle here in the UK. I think, you know, it puts me up there to say that I'm one of the best wrestlers in the division.
No doubt. Okay, one more thing before I let you go. Probably one of the biggest fights coming up in the European circuit for the UFC is Leon Edwards versus Khamzat Chimaev. Does this fight make sense to you?
Yeah. Well, does it make sense? I don't know. I mean, Khamzat's obviously jumped his way right up there, but I think it's a great fight, you know. But I do generally think Leon Edwards, he's very intelligent when he fights, and I think Leon Edwards might take it. But Khamzat, you know, I mean, no one's seen too much of him yet, and this is definitely a big test for him.
January 16th, man, UFC Fight Island, you're back in action. I'm excited for this one, man. This is a good fight, a good test, and a huge opportunity for you, Mike. Thank you so much for the time, and all the best to you.
Thanks for having me on that. Thank you.
Take a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you fling.